Hi everybody, I have a ragdoll tutorial to share with you. Today we're going to be making a boy ragdoll. So you need 24 by 4 inches of muslin in whatever color you want for the skin tone. And we're going to stuff the very tip of this with some wool, and if you don't have wool you can use a cotton ball. And I'm going to use some of the fabric to knot the head in place. And I braided the arms off camera using strips of fabric, and I'm tying that to the back of the neck with the extra fabric that's there. I'm also using a small piece of yellow fabric for the shirt, and you can just hold this up to your ragdoll to figure out how long you want it. I'm going to make a very tiny hole right in the center. I'm going to just wiggle that head through. And the last thing I want to do is just give this ragdoll a bit of a body. So I'm going to use some more wool here. I'm just going to put this underneath those layers of fabric, and then I'm going to use another strip of fabric to tie it in place. This project is really great for remnant pieces of fabric, and if you don't want to cut strips, you can of course just use some string. I do recommend double knotting everything so it doesn't come apart. The last thing we want to do is work on the legs, and I wasn't quite sure how we were going to do these, but I began by at least just cutting 2 legs, and once we were done with that it looked pretty good and I didn't feel like they needed to be filled with any wool batting, but we did decide to tie off the bottom parts of the legs, and that's optional, and that's just what my daughter wanted. And the last thing that you might consider doing is adding some hair or some kind of hat, but nothing really looked that great, so we just left it as is, and that's it. And now my daughter has boy ragdoll to go with her family. Don't forget that you can check out our projects almost daily on Instagram.